St. John's College High School legend, WCAC title in 2016. Some consider, if not most, to be the best high school conference basketball in the country. Attended the University of Maryland in 2016 to 2020, where he played in 130 games and started in every last one of them. My goodness. Average double figures every year. 10.3 is his freshman year, 16 in his sophomore year, 15 and a half in his junior year, 16 and a half in his senior year. Third team All Big Ten 2018, second team All Big Ten 2019, first team All Big Ten in 2020. Number 5 all-time career assists with 584 of them. Number 7 all-time career assists per game with 4.5. Number 7 all-time career leading scorer with 1,881 points. Number 1 in career free throws made with 579 free throws made. And to top it off, regular season Big Ten championship in 2020. Welcome to the show, Anthony Cowan, man. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, man, thanks for coming through. I appreciate it for sure. So let's get right into it, man. You're from the DMV area. Of course, there's a lot of sports play here, especially basketball. What spearheaded your love for the game? How did that start for you?
Yeah, my dad put the ball on me, and I was going since I was 8. And then obviously just being, like you said, just being from the area, super competitive. Everybody's coming for your neck, and that just really kind of shaped me into the player I am today.
Yeah, so you talked about your dad, man. He was a baller back in the day as well. So how important was he for you growing up and your growth in the game, and also, just having so much knowledge in the game? Did you enjoy receiving that from him, or not so much?
I mean, it was definitely different, especially in the beginning. It was super always bumping heads, and the thing with him was he was a good basketball player, but he was a really good football player. So one thing with him, he's always super intense, and I was always kind of the laid back type of dude. So we would always bump heads at it, but ultimately it really allowed me to really adjust to who I was playing for in terms of coaching, because it was never easy. It was always something, but maybe pay attention to details, little things like that. I needed it.
Yeah. So I talked about it in the intro, man. The WCAC, that league is just so competitive in comparison to any league in the country. How good of a feeling was that to win a championship, not only in that league, but against a DeMatha team where I believe they had been to 4 of the last 5 championships during that time. I mean, you had a terrific game, 21 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Did it mean more to you to win the championship against a team like DeMatha?
For sure, it definitely did. I'm gonna give you one story. So one story, I think this was going into my freshman year in high school. Coach Mike Jones, he brought me into it was during their season. He brought me into one of their games. So we go into their office. So I'm thinking he's gonna be like, yeah, we want you to come there next year. We want you to blah blah blah. And it was actually the opposite. So I actually played with another really good point guard in Alani Moore on my AU team with DC Assault. And Coach Mike Jones actually told me that he was recruiting Alani over me. But he wanted to tell me face to face because I was going to every one of his camps every summer, working out with him in the morning. So I always had that in the back of my head, and every time I saw DeMatha, I wanted to do something to him. So it was just crazy how everything just played out for me to finish him off my last year. So that story will always stick to me.
Yeah. All right. That's what's up.
I don't think I ever told nobody that. Yeah, I don't think I ever told nobody that.
I know that get back felt good, huh?
All right. Oh yeah, felt great, for sure.
So how was that transition moving from, St. John's high-level basketball to the University of Maryland? Like I mentioned earlier, you started right out the gate, right out of the gate. Did you expect to have that opportunity to start, and were you thrust into the leadership role early on?
Yeah, I had no idea. Kind of when you step, your coach is not always the same coach that recruits you. So like me and Coach Turge, we definitely butt heads in the beginning. Just me not knowing exactly what a college point guard should be, and me just having to move so fast. And then obviously, like you said, me starting, I didn't know I was starting until the beginning of the game, and I seen my name on the board. So it was crazy seeing that and just having to be able to adjust to the speed of the game. And also, but the one thing that I think really carried over is the leadership part. Just having to be a leader for my high school team, and then it kind of come at full fruition to be able to come play a leadership role alongside with somebody that I looked up to, which was Melo, and be able to play alongside of him. So it's crazy how everything works out.
Yeah, just growing up, I played just about every position, but that point guard position was a unique one where you just had to, it was just more things that you had to pay attention to. So, man, I couldn't imagine as a freshman, being able to have those things put on me and trying to be productive out there, as well as handle all the other things that come with being a point guard. So you mentioned Turgeon.
Especially when I was saying, especially when it's a team coming off the Sweet 16, that's already really good.
Yeah, you're right about that, man. That was a good team, and you coming right in as a freshman, and you were not a big dude, man. Smaller guys coming out there and getting it done. So that speaks to your competitive nature and your willingness to fight out there. So you mentioned Turgeon earlier, how you guys butted heads early on. What would you say if you had to point to one or two things was the biggest impact that Coach Turgeon had on you?
The biggest impact, wow, it was so much. Just because he trusted me so much more than I think any coach would. I mean, it wasn't all good my first couple practices there. It was definitely a lot of adjusting, but he definitely stuck with me, and he really had me playing the guard position at a high level. So it's hard to pinpoint one thing, just because he helped me so much on the floor and being able to see different things. And really, he didn't allow me just to be an okay point guard. Like that wasn't okay with him. And I think that's the difference between, he really pushed me. And he really allowed me to really reach my potential at Maryland, and allowed me to really play through mistakes and really flourish.
So going into, in your senior year, at the end of the season, COVID really affected things and just shut the season down. So the way that the season ended, did you ever have any thoughts about returning for another year?
Nah, I ain't really had too many thoughts about that. Only because you supposed to be there for 4 years. It's not even. I already had my degree. But it wasn't no extra thought really there.
Just ready to move on to the next level, huh?
Yeah, I love Maryland, but it was time. It was time for the next level.
Yeah, I can understand that for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's stay right there in that lane right there. So I know you've had a couple of opportunities to watch this year's team. What's your take on them heading into the tournament?
Yeah, I love the direction, and it kind of seems like they almost hitting at the right time, honestly, for postseason. Aaron is starting to do what I thought he could have been doing all year. Eric is playing really good. Black, or Daryl, is doing a great job of just leading. I remember telling him as soon as I left, I told him it's not gonna be easy. But he definitely taking full advantage of it. Shout out to him, got Defensive Player of the Year. I was super proud of him. Super proud of all of them. Dante Scott, I think he's really changing the whole team and just changing changing his game in order to help the team. So no, I'm super proud of him. I think this is Coach's best work. I mean, it obviously wasn't obviously Maryland wasn't talked too much about, and then obviously getting a big a tournament berth. I mean, that just shows how good of a coach Turgeon is.
Yeah, early on it was a little shaky. People counted them out, and then they got on a little streak. midway through the season on to the end. So you're absolutely right. They hitting their stride right at the opportune time. So, you've been a player that's been in that position before. What is the mindset heading into an NCAA tourney? Of course, the games are different because it's one and done. But how does that? What is that domino effect? How does that affect the mindset or approach to the game as compared to when you're getting ready for a regular season game?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a more sense of urgency. Just knowing is I think in the tournament, I think the biggest thing is just make sure you take it one game at a time. Literally, I mean, you can't look over nobody. I mean, honestly, I can't speak too much about it, only having one win under my belt in the tournament, but just understanding it. I mean, you got to have one game at a time mentality, and every possession matters. I think that's the biggest thing in the tournament. Every possession matters. So every possession matters in the regular season, but you most of the time still got another game 2-3 days in a way. But when the tournament, it's lose or go home. So it's definitely, I think this is a new sense of urgency.
Well, don't discount being there one time. I never went, so I wish I would have been there one time.
Yeah, for sure.
So being a baller, it seems like it runs in the Cowan family, man. You got a little sister who's a baller as well. What kind of advice do you share with her, being as though she's traveling down the same path? I'm not going to ask you about who wins the shooting games because I saw her jumper, bro. I already know that thing is wet. Yeah. I'm not going to ask about that. But what kind of advice do you give her, being as though she's about to travel down the path that you've been?
Yeah, just be a dog. Don't take no back seats. And just go at everybody. Like, yeah, your teammates supposed to be your friends and all that, but go at them like you never have. I mean, college it really should bring out your competitiveness to another level, and that's what it did to me. So that's just my advice for not only my sister, but for any of the young dudes I work out with or I just see they ask me. That's what I tell them. Don't take a backseat to nobody. Go at everybody like it's almost like your worst enemy every day. I mean, that's the only way you're going to improve. And if you teammates, you should be able to respect that. So I think that's been my little 2 cents for a minute now.
That's what's up. So how has it been for you at the next level? Playing in the G League, just getting that experience of playing against pro level players. Most underestimate the talent that's in that league right there, man. There's some very talented players. So what has that experience been like for you?
Yeah, honestly, it was some humble pie. Honestly, for me, just because I never, for the role of the team I was on, it was super different. It was a humble pie just because. You're not playing 30 minutes a night no more. You're not taking some of the shots that you used to taking. I mean, you gotta really gotta learn the pro game, and slowly but surely I started learning while we was in the bubble with it. And I think I needed it. I definitely needed it. A piece of humble pie just made me want to keep working and going harder. Just because nobody wants the role of the. I'm not saying I didn't play at all or anything, but just nobody wants the role of just being content where they at. It was a great experience for me.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, man, you a heck of a player. And it was a pleasure watching you play at the University of Maryland. Being on the radio with Johnny Holiday and Chris Naki, I got to see you guys play up close and personal, man. And it was just a joy to see not only you balling out there, but your competitive nature, your competitive spirit, man. It was refreshing to see and how you wanted those moments, the big moments, how you wanted to perform in those moments, man. And so it was great to see that. Once again, I want to just say thank you, man, for joining me today. It was a pleasure, as always, talking with you. And hey, I know the type of work ethic you have, and I look forward to seeing you down the road in the NBA someday. All right?
No question. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming, bro.
To host a player show or appear as a player on a player show, simply create a profile on Fan Media's iOS app or website. Select your teams and make a short intro video on your phone. Show hosts, reporters, former players, and superfans can use our Get Verified feature and make an intro video as well, and our mobile newsroom staff will reach out.